Welcome back to the Gauntlet Dark Legacy Hardcore Challenge. In the first episode, we cleared most of the Forsaken Province, with the exception of the Lich. As of now, I'm sitting at 33 resets, or deaths as I've been calling them. I recommend you check out part 1 first, because today we'll be jumping into the second realm, the Mountain Kingdom. So let's get right into the first level, the Valley of Fire. The only challenging part about this level was the dragon. This dragon encounter just doesn't give you any space to work with, and the only way I could find to buy additional space was to put myself in an extremely disadvantageous position as far as the camera angle goes. I didn't want to skip it, so after many failed attempts, I decided to just expend some of my hammer charges to get rid of this dragon. Other than that, this level was short and easy. I ran to the exit and spent some of the gold I picked up replenishing my hammer charges. Let's move on to Dagger Peak. This level wasn't too bad once I memorized the spawn locations of the archers and bombers, but I did use up a little more of my hammer charges than I would have liked. The Cliffs of Desolation is by far the most annoying level I've had to get through so far. There are just so many traps, archers and bombers that target from just outside the camera's frame, and just generally bad camera angles that screwed me over repeatedly. Eventually I'm gonna stop complaining about the camera angles in this game, but not today. There's also an archer standing right next to the exit, which is of course just out of view thanks to the camera angle as you approach. Admittedly, this guy did end more than one of my runs. This is the first level that made me seriously question my sanity for even attempting a challenge like this. I'll admit, I did cheese the dragon at the end of my successful run. I just didn't feel like fighting him blind, and risking having to start over from the beginning again. Next up was the Lost Cave. Despite this being one of the longer levels in the Mountain Kingdom, and having a lot of ranged enemies, I was able to complete it pretty easily somehow. The volcanic cavern has some horrible camera angles and a huge amount of ranged enemies, and this was pretty disastrous to my death count. This level also forced me to turn the in-game music off, which is something I never do, but it felt essential to be able to better hear when the ranged enemies were targeting me from off-screen. Even though I didn't have quite as many deaths as I did on the Cliffs of Desolation, the volcanic cavern pissed me off a lot more for some reason. I think it's because there are just so many more opportunities for ranged enemies to snipe you from off-screen and from positions on other platforms. It took 23 resets and a lot of items to get past this level. With the volcanic cavern out of the way, it was time to head to the dragon's lair and face the final boss of the Mountain Kingdom. The vast majority of my deaths on the dragon were due to the unpredictability of the splitting fireball attack, and also the general inconsistency of the speed of all of the fireballs, particularly as the dragon's health gets lower. I defeated the dragon with, to be honest, an embarrassing 20 deaths. I decided to use a lot of my cash influx from the dragon buying hammers, invisibility, and a speed upgrade. That is going to be it for the second episode of this series. If you're enjoying watching me suffer through this hardcore challenge, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and look out for the next episode, where I'll be tackling the game's third realm, the Castle Stronghold.